Hi, I'm Mark Davidson. It's surprisingly easy to get started coaching. There can be a lot of nonsense and fluffy thinking in the world of coaching, but when all that is put aside and we focus on coaching's fundamentals, coaching reveals itself to be simple and natural. It's easy enough to put those fundamentals to work during the course of everyday life, and this can make us better managers or better parents, better friends. The most important thing to put aside is any sense that to coach someone, you help them by giving them advice. Coaching often gets confused with all sorts of self-help and advice giving, but coaching isn't about transmitting any knowledge or understanding from coach to coachee. It's about helping the coachee see things clearly for themselves. Your aim as a coach is to help the coachee have their own insights, have useful insights into what they can do to live their own life well. What they see is then theirs, and it naturally guides their actions. The insight-generating process starts with the coach asking a question that will direct the coachee's attention towards an area of their life where fresh insight might prove useful. These are often the areas of our lives that are difficult or uncomfortable to think about. We might think about them frequently, but not in ways that help us see them afresh. The coach needs to use empathic, attentive listening to help the coachee sustain their thinking, clarifying what they'd like to happen and imagining what they might do to bring it about. As they think, they make new connections, they have insights. There's lots of situations where it would be more appropriate for you to do some coaching than to have a normal conversation or give advice. Maybe a person begins talking about something they're struggling with, or you sense that there's something at the back of someone's mind that's troubling them. If you then slip into a coaching frame of mind, you'll see that you don't have to be trapped in the conventions of normal conversations where people take turns sharing their thoughts, and you don't have to offer advice, that instead you can create the conditions for the person to see the situation afresh for themselves. So you ask the person a question that directs their attention towards the area of their life where you sense that fresh insight would be useful, and you listen attentively to what they tell you. You don't give any thought to what you'd like to say yourself about the topic. You just listen attentively and empathically, trying your hardest to see things from their point of view and understand what it must be like to be them, navigating the complexities of their particular life. They'll sense your curiosity and your goodwill towards them, and they'll think things through in ways that they wouldn't be able to if you weren't there playing the part of a good coach. It really is that simple. If you like, you can dive straight in and start looking for opportunities to coach, or if you'd prefer, you can use our courses to help you get started. We offer 2 courses for the simple Level 1 form of coaching. The theory course, Discover Coaching, only takes half an hour or so to complete. It covers all the basics of how coaching works. And in the practical course, Start Coaching, you'd team up with other people who are learning to coach, and you'd practice your question asking and attentive listening skills together. The more you practice, the better you'll get. People really do love being listened to and heard, so coaching can help you build better relationships with people. It can make a difference at work and in our personal lives, and all it takes is asking good questions and listening attentively to the replies.